It's 2005. You've got Triple H, the most politically connected man in WWE history. You've got Ric Flair, the dirtiest player in the game. You've got Randy Orton, the golden boy handpicked to be the face of the company, and standing quietly in the background is a guy who was nearly fired 2 years earlier, a guy who was told he would never be a main event star, a guy who by every calculation the industry had was too old, too late, and too unpolished to ever reach the top of professional wrestling. And then, on one night in January 2005, that same guy walked up to Triple H in the middle of a Royal Rumble ring and threw him over the top rope. The place erupted like a volcano, and nothing was ever the same again. That man was Batista, but you know him as the Animal, Batista, and this is the story of how he pulled off one of the most unlikely rises in all of WWE history at a time when almost nobody saw it coming. Batista didn't grow up with pro wrestling in his blood. He came to the business late, signing with WWE in 2000 at the age of 31, and in sports entertainment terms, that is ancient for a debut. He was big, 6'6", 290 pounds of pure sculpted muscle, but in the ring, he was raw, stiff, still learning how to move, how to tell a story, and how to make 20,000 people feel something real. And there were genuine conversations behind the scenes about releasing him, cutting the experiment short, but something kept Batista around. Part stubbornness, part rare physical package that the industry almost never produces, and part those glimpses of something genuinely special that shone through whenever he got things right. That chance fully arrived in 2003 when Triple H assembled Evolution, a stable built around the idea that the past, present, and future of WWE were standing in the same ring. And on paper, Randy Orton was the star of the two young members, younger, more polished, more natural on the microphone, with that handcrafted it factor at just 23 years old, while Batista was simply the enforcer, the muscle, the guy who stood behind Triple H with his arms crossed and let his size do the talking. And in most stories, that role is a dead end. But something completely unexpected happened over those months inside Evolution. The crowd started reacting to Batista differently. He started developing a charisma that felt authentic, not rehearsed, not manufactured. There was a realness to his intensity that fans could sense from the cheap seats, and he worked tirelessly on his in-ring craft, studied, asked questions, watched tape, and the sheer brilliance of Triple H and Flair were quietly sharpening him without him even fully realizing it. Here is what makes his rise genuinely different from most pushes. It was not manufactured from the top down. The crowd did not cheer for him because WWE told them to. They cheered because they wanted to. And by late 2004, Batista chants were breaking out in arenas completely organically. Live crowds responding to him like a babyface while he was still officially playing a heel. And that does not happen because of a booking memo. That happens because a performer has genuinely connected with real people. And when WWE finally pulled the trigger and let the tension inside Evolution reach its breaking point, and when Batista thumbs-downed Triple H in February 2005, the reaction in that arena was absolutely thunderous. Months of build-up detonating in one single perfect moment that the crowd had been waiting and screaming and begging for. WrestleMania 21, Los Angeles, April 3rd, 2005. Batista versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Triple H did everything in his power to plant seeds of doubt in the weeks leading up to it. Questioned Batista's toughness, his loyalty, his intelligence, tried every single psychological trick in the book, but none of it worked. And when Batista walked out that night, the crowd reaction was one of those rare electric moments that reminds you why professional wrestling at its absolute best is unlike anything else in the world of entertainment. Because this was not just a title match. This was a story people had invested months of their lives into. This was a man the audience had chosen for themselves, and he won it clean with a Batista bomb that shook the entire ring. No interference, no controversy, just the Animal standing on top of the mountain with the belt raised high and the crowd giving him every single thing they had. He was too old, too late, too unproven, written off before most people even learned his name. He spent 2 years in the background playing a supporting role in someone else's story, and when the moment finally cracked open just slightly, he did not hesitate. He had done the work. He had earned every single bit of it, and he walked straight through. Because the story that happened is that the Animal did not just climb to the top of WWE, he owned it entirely.